What's up, my name is Jay Toonz, back here with another video. In this video, we're going to be doing another review of another Netflix original show, and that show is Trollhunters. So let's go ahead and get into it. Hey, I'm Jay, and all my life I've been obsessed with animated TV shows. So after discovering people on YouTube who enjoy animation just as much as I do, I decided to make my own videos on collecting, hunting, news, and reviews based around animated TV shows. So sit back, relax, and enjoy what my channel has to offer you. Oh yeah, don't forget, keep watching Jay Toonz. Trollhunters is based on a series of books titled the same name. It was created by Guillermo del Toro, I believe I'm saying his name right, and produced by DreamWorks Animation for Netflix. The show is about James Jim Lake Jr., who comes across a magic amulet calling his name. He is then visited by two trolls who tell Jim he has been chosen by the amulet to be the first human troll hunter. He now has to protect not only the trolls, but everyone in his town of Arcadia from the evil Gum Gums and their leader, Gunmar. Alright guys, so we're going to go ahead and talk about the characters. First up is James Jim Lake Jr., or Jim as everybody likes to call him in the show. He is the first human troll hunter. Jim is a very caring character. You could tell by the way he just takes care of his friends and his family, especially his mom. His mom is always busy, like with her job. She comes in, she goes to work, and she just gets off very, very late. So when he gets up in the morning, she's asleep. So she doesn't like make him breakfast and drive him to school or nothing like that. He has to do everything by himself because his father left them when he was very, very young. So it's just him and his mother, and he takes care of his mother. And I really love that about his character, where he, because I can relate to that, or he takes care of his mother. Personal wise, I could relate to him like that. So I really, really love that about his character. In the beginning of the series, he is kind of a scaredy cat in a way, but later on in the series, he does get brave. He does get a lot more stronger when it comes to him trying to fight the bad guys, you know? So I really love that about his character, how he kind of grew into getting more brave, which later on, he is a little scared, but because he cares so much about his friends and his family and just the people around him and the trolls, he wants to protect them so much that he is scared, but he doesn't let that get in the way of him protecting everybody around him, which that's why I love Jim. He's not my favorite character, but I love that about him, and if I could see why people love his character, I could see why he could be somebody's favorite character, but in the series, he's not my favorite character. But I do love his character. Next up is Tobias, aka Toby. Everybody calls him Toby in the show, so we're just gonna call him Toby. He is Jim's best friend who fights alongside him. Toby is basically the typical fat kid comedic character, but he does bring something to the show by just being there for Jim and helping when he needs to. He's there to help fight alongside Jim, but also he's there to give Jim advice on, say, girls or something. I do love Toby because he's funny, and I can't say I relate to him, but just something about him I really, really love. But he's not my favorite character, like I said. Just like Jim, I can see why he's somebody's favorite character, but he's not my favorite character. But he's a pretty cool character, pretty funny character. Most of the times I'm laughing is because of Toby, so I do love him for that. Sometimes he comes across as annoying in some points of the show where he says something funny, which it really the moment is serious. He doesn't really need to be funny in that moment, but other than that, he's really, really a funny character. I enjoy his character, but like I said, just like Jim, he's not my favorite. Next up is Claire Nunez. Claire is the love interest for Jim, but like Toby, she brings a lot to the show. She's a very smart character because that's one of the reasons why the trolls love her, is because she wants to learn a lot about the trolls and what they do and where they're from. She wants to learn a lot about them, that's why the trolls love her. Also, she is a very, very good, she's a very good fighter, which she's not the greatest fighter out there, let me just say that. But she is very, very good. She's smart, intelligent, she loves poems, and she's a little girly girl, but at the same time, she's not scared to throw a punch. She'll throw a punch every now and then. She's not scared to go out there and fight, like the biggest bad guy out there. So I love that about her. She's probably my favorite out of Toby, Jim, and Claire. She's my favorite one because, like I said, she's very smart, very intelligent, but she will throw a punch when she needs to. She will be there for Jim to save him or something if she really needs to, and I love that about her character. So out of those three, out of the main characters, she's probably my favorite one. So I really, really love her. I really, really love that about her. Next up for the human characters is Mr. Strickler. He is Jim's teacher, and that's all I'm gonna say. That is all I'm gonna say because if I talk about him, it is going to be a lot of spoilers with his character and with just him in general. So that's all I'm gonna say is he's just the teacher for Jim. Do I like his character? Yes and no, and that's all I'm gonna say. So yeah. Um, so let's go ahead and move on to the trolls. So first up for the trolls is Blinky. Blinky is a troll who mentors and is a father figure to Jim because, like I said, Jim doesn't have a father. He is a very wise and caring troll. And is very interested in the human world, like just like how Claire is with the trolls. That's how Blinky is. He wants to know a lot about the human world. He just wants to be out there with the humans and see what they're about and do a lot of human stuff. For me, Blinky is like Splinter in TMNT, but more funnier, more comedic in a way. So I do love Blinky. He's probably one of my favorites of the show. Not my favorite, but he's definitely up there. I just love him. He's very funny, very just intelligent, and he's there for Jim when Jim needs advice. Even though he's a troll and doesn't know that much about humans, he still tries to give Jim advice on what to do, and he does help him a lot in training for battles and in training for just basically protecting the troll. So I do love him about that. I love Blinky. So yeah, that's pretty much to Blinky. He's just the mentor to Jim. Like I said, just think of Splinter to TMNT. Next up, the next troll is Arg or Og, or I don't know how to say his name. But he is Blinky's like right hand man. He is basically Blinky's friend who helps him take care of Jim and help train Jim. But he has a backstory to him that I really don't want to get into because, like I said, it will get into spoilers, and I'm not here to spoil the show, so I'm just gonna leave it at that. But he is a very loving character, loving, caring character, especially to Toby. Like him and Toby did get close during the series or during the season, and they're basically like best friends. Arg and Toby, they became best friends. Toby calls Arg, his his wingman. So I really, really love that. And Arg is probably my favorite character of the series. We don't know that much about him, but I just connected with his character and I love him. I would love just to have a best friend like Arg, a troll best friend. Just literally take out Arg out of the show, and I would love just to have him. So yeah, as a best friend. So I really love Arg, and yeah, it's pretty much all I can say about Arg. There's a backstory with him. Like I said, I don't want to spoil it. So yeah. There are a lot of other trolls in this show, but they just play as background characters or side characters. So yeah, there's really nothing much to say about the other trolls because they're just background characters. They're just side characters. So let's go ahead and talk about the baddies in the show. First off is Gunmar. Gunmar is the leader of the Gum Gums who is actually stuck in the Darklands. He needs his son and other bad guys to free him by getting Jim to open up the gate that holds him. So Gunmar is basically the big baddie in the show, but you don't get to see him, which that to me is that sucks to me because he doesn't come off threatening in my opinion, because all you hear is people talking about how bad he is and what he will do. So he's not scary in a way, I don't feel threatened by him or nothing like that because, like I said, he's just stuck somewhere, why are you going to be scared of somebody who's just stuck, in a gate that holds him, So I really don't care for Gunmar too much. Next up is his son. He is a big, strong Gum warrior. He is the main bad guy, kind of in a way, who wants to kill the Trollhunter, wants to kill Jim so he can free his father from the Darklands. Like I said, this guy, he isn't really threatening in my opinion, because I feel like there are a lot of other trolls out there who could really, really take him and really, really beat him. I don't find him threatening, just like I don't find Gunmar threatening, so I really didn't care about him. Like I said, to me, there's probably tons of other trolls out there who could beat him. So I really don't care for his character. Now, next one is Angerot. Now, Angerot, in my opinion, is the best villain in this show. Like, I was legit scared for Jim. That's how good of a bad guy he is. I was legit scared for Jim when Angerot got introduced into the show. I would love for him just to be the main villain of this show, but not really Gunmar, because I was really, really interested in Angerot and interested into his past and just what made him him. So I really, really loved Angerot. He's basically an assassin who hunts down troll hunters and takes their souls for his own. But the only thing bad about him is if somebody gets a hold of a ring, they control him. He has to, because whoever holds the ring, he has to listen to that person and do whatever they want. So that's the only bad thing about him. But other than that, I was really, really scared for Jim. This Angerot is a really, really tough dude. He goes after, loved one. He's not scared to hurt a loved one of Jim's. And I was just really, really not scared, but I was really, really interested in Angerot. And in my opinion, he is the best so far villain in this show. And I really, really loved him. I wish he was the main villain. But yeah, so Angerot, like I said, is my favorite character of this series. So yeah, so that's it for all of the main characters who I think I should talk about, who interested me. So if there are any other characters that I didn't touch on that you guys want me to talk about, let me know down in the comments, and I'll tell you whether or not I like them, whether or not I hate them. I'll let you know my opinions on them. But let's go ahead and get into the animation now. The animation is pretty good in my opinion. It's not amazing, but it's pretty good. I really didn't like some of the human character designs in the show. Like Jim, I don't know what it is, but he just looks weird to me. Like, I don't like his character design in his face. I'm not saying he's ugly or nothing. I just don't really like his design. Like, when I first started watching, I was like, ugh. Once I saw him, I was like, I really don't like the character design for him. Toby and Claire, they're fine. Some of the human characters are just kind of off to me. Like Strickler looks like an older Linguini from Ratatouille. That's what he looks like. He looks like an older version of Linguini. But I do love all of the designs of the trolls. The trolls are they're just beautifully done. They're just the way they look. I love the way they look. I love all the trolls designs. I enjoy that design. But some of the humans are just a little off. When I first started watching it, I was like, ugh, I don't like this animation too much. But it grew on me, and I enjoyed the animation. Like I said, it's not amazing, but it's pretty good. It's not the best animation, but you could get through it. It's not the worst animation. I enjoyed it. So yeah, it just took a while for it to grow on me. Alright guys, so for my overall opinions on Trollhunters, I absolutely really enjoyed this show. It's not the greatest show out there, but it's actually pretty good storyline wise. Like, I enjoyed it for the story and for the side stories and the kind of surprises it had in the show. I really enjoyed it, but I didn't start enjoying it until around episode 5 or 6. Before that, I was just like, it's an okay show. It's not that great. I'm probably not even going to finish the series, but I'm glad I kept watching, because that around 5 or 6 episodes, I really, really started to enjoy it. So if you guys haven't seen Trollhunters, or you saw a couple of episodes, I say give it some more episodes. Like, give it to about 6 or 7 episodes and then judge it from there, or even get it to 10 episodes and judge it from there, because like I said, I didn't enjoy it until around 5 or 6 episodes in, and I started loving it, and I love the show. I like the show. It's enjoyable. The story is great. Some of the characters aren't the best, but they're still enjoyable. I don't hate the characters, but they're enjoyable. I love the characters. That they're not the greatest characters, but I enjoyed some of the characters, especially the trolls. Now, the one thing that I didn't like about this show was not knowing too much about the trolls. I wanted to know more about the trolls than the humans, than Jim, Toby, and Claire. I wanted to know a lot more about all of the trolls they met, all of the trolls that are in the village. I wanted to learn more about them than the actual main characters, and that's the only thing bad about the show for me, is I wanted to know more about those trolls. If I could, I would love to watch a show just about the trolls and about where they came from and about everything about the trolls. I would love just to know that. But other than that, I enjoy the show. I just wanted to know more about the trolls. So yeah, I think there was too much of the human characters in this show, but I think the next season will get in more into trolls. So yeah, but like I said, this show is all about the humans, but you're probably going to want to know a lot about the trolls. But other than that, I enjoyed the show. There's some of the bad guys I really didn't care for, some of the characters I really didn't care for, but overall, I had a fun time with it. I enjoyed it. I've only seen 3 Netflix shows, which was Voltron, Puss in Boots, and this one, Trollhunters. So out of all 3 of them, I still think Voltron is better than Trollhunters. This is by far better than Trollhunters, but Trollhunters was still good. It was still enjoyable. Once I started loving it, I couldn't stop watching it. I had to binge watch it. So yeah, so like I said, if you're planning on watching it, if you haven't finished it, give it till about 6 or 7 episodes in, and then judge it from there. But I enjoyed it. It's not the best show out there. There are definitely a lot more better shows than Trollhunters, but it's very, really fun. It's very funny. A lot of action into it, a lot of suspense, a lot of surprises. I really, really love it, and I enjoyed it. So yeah, so I highly recommend it for anybody who loves story-based shows. I love story-based shows, shows that I need to watch and binge watch it to find out what happens in the next episode. I love those type of shows. So if you love those type of shows, I highly recommend it. If you're looking for a show like that's all comedy, like Teen Titans Go or SpongeBob or something like that, this isn't the show for you. But if you like story-based, story-driven shows, definitely watch this show. I love it. I enjoyed it. So yeah, if you guys have seen Trollhunters, if you plan on seeing it, let me know all of your thoughts down in the comments below. If there is something that I didn't touch up on in this review, let me know down in the comments below, and I'll let you know my opinions on it. And yeah, so that's it. Hopefully you guys enjoy this video. Let me know, like I said, all your thoughts down in the comments below. And yeah, so if you guys can, go over and follow me on all of my social media sites, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Go over there to my VidMe. I want to hit 50 followers on VidMe so I can get verified. So go over to VidMe, go follow me. There will be exclusive videos coming soon on VidMe that you won't be able to see on YouTube. So go to VidMe, go over there, check me out, go follow me. So that's it, guys. Hope you guys enjoy this video. And yeah, so for all your collection, hunting, news, and reviews on Toonz, click the subscribe button. Don't forget, keep watching your cartoons. I'll see you on your animation geeks later. Peace.